Hey guys, I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you on YouTube Live. How is everybody doing today? First of all, did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? Because I tell you what, man, I got off the phone while ago and we were talking about Thanksgiving. I ate way too much food. But I tell you what, it was good. It was worth it. It was wonderful. And man, again, I ate way too much food. So let's see. We have got iKing RPG, hello. We got Cap P, Roger Wakefield, appreciate the videos and the knowledge you bring to the field. Man, I have so much fun doing this. I love it. Thank you so much. Tremaine Spodnik, I'm off from school now, snow delay. Man, where are you at? I'm very interested because it ain't snowing here. Matter of fact, it is kind of nice outside today. It's a little chilly, but not too bad. Got Mr. Paul Peck, Drywall Tube, the moderator in the house. And if y'all did not see his live yesterday, it was fantastic. I tell you what, there's so much knowledge to be gained on YouTube. I love the people that are getting in here and getting things together and putting good information out. And when you can get good information, you can learn something. It's fantastic. So Paul and William are both moderators. Got Will in here. Just got back from his honeymoon. Been talking about Mexico. So it has been really, really fun. Got to go scuba diving. Did not get to go. Got to go snorkeling, not scuba diving. And the good thing is I got to be there when Will went scuba diving the first time. So it was really pretty cool. Paul Peck, how are you, brother? It is so good to see you in here. Rock the Red 2009 back in the house. Good to see you. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Man, I tell you what, if you didn't eat too much, leave me a message because I want to know where you went. I need to go there next year because I was out at my sister's house. Food was great. Really, really good. My brother is a pretty good cook. I'm so much better than he is, but he is pretty good. And since he's in here, I don't even have to prove it. But I tell you what, we fire up the smoker. We had smoked turkeys. We had fried turkeys. We had air fried turkeys. It was very, very good this year. Evo Mac 2122. How are we doing today? Rebooted Mind. Good to have you in here. Brandon the plumber. What's up? Everybody do me a favor and tell me where y'all are from, because today we're going to talk a little bit about the Texas plumbing license and what's going on with it. I want to get y'all's feedback and see what you think about it. But everybody do me a favor and tell me where you're from. And don't think I'm going to remember it. I mean, man, I would love to try, but I'm getting old. I'm getting real. This gray hair is real. Not my mustache. I colored it on purpose just to make it look really, really good. But anyway, my memory doesn't work like it should. So, 30 minutes from now or an hour, I may say, hey, Mike Ritter, where are you from? And you're going to say North Carolina. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I do know Paul Peck's from Florida, so he doesn't have to put anything in there. Will says Viva Mexico. Yeah, I wish I was in Mexico right now. So that's pretty great. Larkins Mechanical, how are we doing? Good to have you in here. Adrian Mueller, hello. Elijah Gage, family, friends, football, food. Man, you're right. That is a great way to spend the holidays. Everybody around here had a great Thanksgiving. Thank you so much. Brandon's in Phoenix. Mike is in North Carolina. Elijah Gage from Pennsylvania. Larkins is in Chicago. Larkins, what part of Chicago? Are you familiar with Bishop Plumbing? I've got a friend that used to run Bishop's Plumbing, a great guy. Adrian Mueller from South Africa. Man, welcome to the show. It is good to have you here. Evo Mike 2122 is from Jersey. And Rockin' the Red 2009 from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Right between DC and Richmond. Good for you. Paul, East Central Florida. Fantastic. Barney Films 85, where are you from? David Dillo. Thank you so much for passing down your wisdom. Greetings from the French island of Martinique. Man, and I'm stuck in Dallas, Texas. Don't get me wrong, man. I love it here. Regina Maiden from Detroit, Michigan. I love this. Okay, now, who all in here are plumbers, who's apprentices, who is thinking about getting into plumbing or wanting to get into plumbing? Because I tell you what, my YouTube channel is very unique. And, you know, a lot of y'all know about it. We started out our YouTube channel for homeowners. I own a small company here in Richardson, Texas, just northeast of Dallas. And I literally started my channel because I wanted to teach homeowners how to fix their own plumbing. You know, how do you change a flapper? How do you change a ball cock? How do you unjam a garbage disposal? Even change a toilet? What do you want to do? And I started making those videos. And it was really neat because then I started getting a lot of plumbers, a lot of people wanting to get into plumbing. We had a few electricians get in, but we kicked them out. You know, kicked out every trade except for Paul Peck drywall tube. And it's just because he is such a cool guy. So what we did is we started making videos and we started teaching people plumbing, not just homeowners, but I mean, people wanting to get into plumbing. And, you know, I've made a lot of videos talking about the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, the governor of Texas, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. We've done a lot of different things in a lot of different videos, but I always end up getting calls or messages coming back saying, hey, Roger, look, how do you do this? Or Roger, it'd be great if you would make a video doing this. So we really love teaching plumbing. And you know, with 40 years experience, used to be a teacher in the union, I actually know a little bit about it. And I love that I can share this knowledge. So I do. I love having y'all in here. But do me a favor and let me know, are you a plumber? Are you an apprentice? Are you in plumbing or do you want to get into plumbing? What is it you're doing? Detroit, man, I love it up there. I used to fly into Detroit every year and then drive over to Ypsilanti. Actually, we drive over to Ann Arbor, but I'd go to school in Ypsilanti when I was an instructor for the union. Love it up there. Oh my God, it's wonderful. I love the food. So Alexander, I've been trying to get into plumbing for like the last 6 months. Seems like everybody wants you to take the ACCU placer test and then post it on certain job website for apprentices. Now, I'm not sure what the ACCU test is, but I'll tell you what, and I teach apprentices this a lot. If you want to learn plumbing, you know, don't be like me. And I know that's a funny way to put it, but, you know, I didn't have study materials that y'all have got today. And what I mean by that, I mean, you can see over my shoulder, I mean, I've got books in here and I actually use them. It's not just to hold, you know, other things in place. I started using the UPC study guide. God, I think it was 2009, 2012, somewhere around in there. And I started using it to study for exams. And I say that because I was teaching other journeymen how to prepare for exams. And God, it may have even been older than that. But I used to have one because, and I don't remember if it was when I went and took my master's or what, but I found the UPC study guide. And I went through, of course, I cheated. I went to the back where all the answers are. I went through the book and highlighted every right answer. And then for like 2 weeks, I read that from front to back. Read the question, read the right answer. Read the question, read the right answer. And I loved it. It was great. I knew most of it. I've been plumbing for a long time. So it wasn't like I was learning anything new. Maybe I learned things properly, like, you know, what size drain or how long or something like that. But I'll tell you the cool thing is it got to where I could read the first 2 or 3 words and I knew the answer. And when I went to took my test in Austin, and I think it was my master's exam, I literally, I mean, just boom, I went through it. I'd read part of it, boom, boom, boom. And guys, it was so quick. But I understood then, once you study, learn, and know something, and I mean really know it, man, it clicks. So what I teach people wanting to get into plumbing now is start studying plumbing. If you want to get into it, start studying it, start learning it. The videos that I make, start watching them, learn what I'm talking about when I talk about changing a flapper, changing a ball cock, changing a fill valve or a flush valve. Know what the difference are. And I get miscombobulated every now and then. I'll be like, change the flush valve. I mean the fill valve. I know what they are, know what they do, but I have to think about it. Guys, study plumbing to where it just clicks. And when it clicks, you're going to realize, man, like, I got this. And that is such a great way to be. And it really does help you get through it all. Say we, Minnesota and North Dakota, absolutely. I know Notre Dame, right? I know Alexander C. or Barney filmed 85, you remember. I called up plumbers even. Alexander, I don't know what you mean there, man. Elijah Gage, talking about getting into plumbing, so many ways though. Through Job Corps, through a college, or through the union in Pittsburgh, what do you think is the best way, in my opinion? Well, I'll tell you what, I know a lot of the plumbers in the union in Pittsburgh. They're not as good looking as the plumbers here in Dallas, Texas. I mean, you'll see that as soon as you walk in. But I'll tell you what, I think Pittsburgh has a good training program. And I don't remember, I think it's local 669, maybe something. I don't remember for sure. But I tell you what, when I was in Ann Arbor, like I was talking about a while ago, or actually in Ypsilanti, Washtenaw Community College, one of the instructors for customer service was actually from Pittsburgh. And man, they were some really neat guys. Getting to talk to him, and I think there was another instructor there that taught something else, and I don't remember which one, or don't remember what he taught, but I remember the guy, and they were just really neat people. I love the union training program. I've talked a lot with PHCC here lately, and I think they really have a good training program too. I check into both of them. Find out what you think you're going to get your best education from. I don't want people to just make decisions based on what I say, but you know, I've seen both sides. I've seen open shop and I've seen union. I know which one I prefer. But you know what? It's different for everybody. But I will tell you this. Do a little research, find out where you're going to get your best information. Where are you going to get your best training and your best knowledge, or where do you think? And maybe you can talk to people that have gone through both programs and ask them what they think about it. I know people that will tell you that going through the union training program is the best thing they ever did in their life. I know some people that have gone through the program, they'll tell you that they didn't think they got as much out of it. I think a lot of the training it depends on what you want to get out of it. If you go in and you really want to get a great education, and you're one of those people that when you show up, you're there, you're present, you're there to learn, and you get everything out of it you can, I think that's what you'll get. And I've seen some people come out of the training program that, I mean, were rock stars. They came out, they moved into supervision immediately. They could run a job, they could lay out a job, they could order for a job, they could do a lot of things. But that same person, when they were in school, they were paying attention. They were taking notes. They were studying. They were coming in prepared. They came in wanting to learn, where some students come in wanting to go home or take a nap. So lots of different ways to look at it. I'll slide back up here. So it slid down on it. There's Elijah. Evo Mike 2122, did you hear about the new amendment that only master plumbers and master HVR technicians can work on gas pipe? Evo Mike, where you at? And I know, see, I told y'all it wouldn't take very long. Evo Mike's in New Jersey. Okay, so Evo Mike here in Texas, man, plumbers are the people who work on gas. Not just a master plumber, but a journeyman plumber. Meaning I own a plumbing company here. I'm the responsible master plumber for it, but I can send a journeyman and an apprentice out to work on a gas job. So here in Texas, man, I think it's great. Number one, we're taught about pipe. We're taught about pipe sizing. We're taught about how to locate and make repairs. And I mean, think about it. Plumbers already use ProPress. Plumbers already use MegaPress. There's a lot of different things there that we already do. And I think if you put all that work on the gas purveyor, they've pretty much got to hire people like plumbers to go in and do it. I love that it fell back under your licensing. Tell me what you think about it. I think it's a great thing. Regina, you've been thinking about getting into plumbing. I tell you what, we shot 2 videos this morning, and one of them is how to get a job in plumbing right now. If it's right now, this year, today. But you know what? It's a great career. And, and let me back that up. It's a great profession. And I say that because I see plumbers, I see a lot of tradespeople as professionals. Now, don't get me wrong. I see a lot of them as, maybe not. But I tell you what, Regina, I think this is an amazing profession to get in because it's good. You can make a good living. But I tell you what, my favorite thing about it is, especially being in residential service, is the customer satisfaction. It is that feeling you get when you go to work on somebody's gas or you go to work on somebody's sewer. I went on matter of fact, we did a video about it, so it's another one that'll be coming out. I changed to two-way clean out the other day. But whenever I went out and ran the camera, the lady had been told, I've got a leak under my slab. They wouldn't give me a price. They just kept saying, oh my God, it's going to be so expensive. Well, I go out and I run the camera. It's not under the slab. It's right at the edge of her two-way cleanouts, right before it got to the slab. And it makes me feel bad that some plumbing companies use that license to steal. And I love things like that when I can go out and I'm like, man, look, it's not near as bad as they led you to believe. And literally, I had the dig crew go out. I went back out the next day. I made the repair. I videoed it. Looked good. Looked real good. Y'all will watch that video. I'm telling you, because it's a good one. But anyway, it did. It looked good. Everything about it, man, it was just right. And, to see the satisfaction and the happiness on that lady's face, knowing that she wasn't going to have to spend $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to tunnel up under her house and make the repair. And that's what it's all about. And when you get to be that person that you treat people right, and they look at you and they trust you and they see it, man, that part is amazing. So I tell you, Regina, don't think about it, man, do it. Just get out there and do it. I promise you, you'll love it. It's a great career. William, hey, Roger, it's winter. What kind of preparatory steps do plumbers need to take to get ready for all the typical winter plumbing calls? You know what, as a plumber, make sure you got repair couplings. Make sure you're ready for freeze breaks. And Mike, let me know, up in New Jersey, is freeze breaks a big problem y'all have? Here in Texas, it doesn't freeze very often. Although I did make a video and I told a story about, back when it did freeze really bad. I think it was the early 80s. I mean, I remember, guys, there were so many freeze breaks that plumbing companies, the phone would not quit ringing. And literally, plumbers were charging people like $350 to come turn your water off. That's it. Drive up, turn your water off, pick up a check, and leave. Call us later. We'll see when we can get back. But literally, I think I drove around and shut water off to like 20 houses one day. And it was just every time you'd get back in the car, they're like, okay, now go here, or the truck. Now go here. And it was radios. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, man, to get ready for winter, number one, prepare the pipes. If you're a homeowner, if you're a plumber in your own house, make sure if you've got faucets, you've got them covered. And I say faucets, wall hydrants, anything like that. If you have plumbing on an exterior wall, make sure you got the heat open or the heat on, you got the cabinet doors open, you got them dripping. You're plumbers, you know what to do. Getting ready to run emergency calls, make sure you've got like a heat gun, something to thaw the pipes. Make sure you've got your wrenches to open the meter, to turn the water off, to do what all you can do. But man, get ready for it, because I know a lot of y'all, it's coming. So let me know if you're in an area that has freeze breaks a lot. Let me know, because that's not something we deal with a lot here, but we do get them every now and then. David Dillo, What are your thoughts on books for better understanding of the pipe, such as the IPC code and study companion book and the IPC illustrated code and commentary? You know what, David? I love the IPC codes. I think the ICC is a great organization, and they've got a lot of code books they put together. I've actually got a copy of APMO's UPC, the Uniform Plumbing Code, right back here, and I believe I've got the 2018 version. I love it. And, you know, I didn't know if you were listening earlier. I talk about how I literally, I take this book, I go to the back, and I hadn't done all this one because they just sent me this a few weeks ago. Thank you, John Mata. They sent me this. I go in the back, I look up the answers. I go to the front and I highlight them. And that way, literally, I can just sit here, put my glasses on, and I can read the question and answer. And boom, I read the question, put in the right answer. I read the question, I put in the right answer. That way, I'm never thinking about the wrong answer at all. So I love that. My Vid Summit hat. For those of y'all that weren't there, I know Paul Peck was there. So, David, that's my thing. Scully's House of Thrillers. I love having you in here, brother. I appreciate you came by. It's good to see you here. Man, talk about books and writing. Yeah, man, y'all need to go check out Scully's House of Thrillers, another great YouTube channel. And if you haven't seen it, Paul Peck Drywall Tube is another one. He's in the trades, sheetrock and paint, and how to skim coat and how to get rid of popcorn. You want to learn anything to do on sheetrock and paint, man, his channel, you need to go check it out. That is some cool stuff. All right, let me see. Jump way down there. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So, Bruce Maynard, how are you, sir? Mayran, sorry about that. See, I got my glasses on, I still can't see. Hi, Roger, 61 and looking for a career change. I've been in service for many years, managing in the robotics field. I want to work with my hands now and not manage people. Any advice? You know what, Bruce? And it's funny because you pick that right age. And at 61, I'm going to tell you, look, it's up to you. I have seen people get into the apprentices into the apprentice training program at the age of 55. I have actually hired a master plumber to come back to work for me. Well, heck, let's do it this way. I've hired 2 plumbers here lately that are 60. One of them, one of the first plumbers, actually the very first plumber I ever worked for, is still with me doing a great job. The other one, after the first day, he said, man, look, I can't do this anymore. He had been off for a year, so he hadn't worked. And when he came back that one day with me, I mean, he came in the next morning. He said, look, my knees are killing me. My back's killing me. My feet are killing me. He said, I just can't do it. So what I'm going to tell you is it's really, man, it's up to you. It can be hard work, but you know what? It can also be exciting and rewarding and fun. And I'm telling you, I love it. I'm 56. I can still get out and do all of it. Do I hurt sometimes? Absolutely. I am not young anymore. But you know what? I still have fun at it. I love it and I enjoy it. So, Bruce, I would say if you think plumbing is something you want to get into, man, it's worth a shot. But you got to understand that, you know, you may be on a shovel one day. You may be crawling under a house one day. You may be laying on your floor in kitchen cabinets one day. There's a lot of different things that can happen, but man, it's all good. I love this. Barney Films. So I'll be buying a main sewer machine and a rigid K3800 with different cables for smaller branch lines. I'm looking at General Speed Router 92. Any suggestions on sewer machines to take in a basement? I tell you what, number one, we don't have basements. So, man, I am the wrong guy to ask for that. But I love my Speed Router 92. I've got some rigid machines. I love those too. I've even got K400s that we still carry up on roofs every now and then. Man, there's a lot of different sewer machines out there. And that's something I need, you know, maybe one day. This wall here, remember, it's my sponsorship wall. Maybe one day there'll be a really good sewer machine brand up there, and I can tell you all about them. I use a lot of different ones. I have guys in videos all the time ask me what sewer cameras I use. And you know what? I've got a couple of different brands. Same thing on leak detection equipment. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different brands of leak detection equipment that I use. And don't get me wrong, I love all 4 of them. They each are good for different things. But my thing is, look, you find a machine that you like, that has the right torque, the right power, you don't have any problems with it. You can pick it up, you can handle it. I love my little General Speed Rooter 92. I mean, that thing, I don't think I've ever changed a motor or anything. I've got some big Spartans. I mean, the big heavy duty, I think that thing weighs 879,000 pounds, but I can pick it up and put it in the back of a van if I need to. And when I say pick it up, I mean, I have to manhandle it. And the older I get, the harder that is to do. But man, that machine there, I've had them rebuilt. I've had new cables put in them, new heads put in them. I've never had to rebuild the motor or anything like that. And those things are built like a tank. And I've got 2 of them back there. They last forever. So man, lots of different choices. Regina, wonderful. You just answered the question I was about to ask. Thanks, Roger. Well, Regina, which question was it? Because I'm curious. Because if you've got that question, somebody else does too. So, man, do me a favor. Man, put it in down there. Let's hear what you got. I love answering questions because that's how it helps all these other people. Hey, Coach Dobson, I'm a sprinkler fitter apprentice. I'd like to become a plumber or a pipe fitter. Plumber more because I'd like to own my own business one day. All union though. What's your opinion on this? So, and I say if you want to own your own business, plumbing is the right way to go. Where are you located at? Because some plumbing unions have service, some don't. And I mean, like Houston has a service training program, Dallas doesn't. Dallas is working on it. But what I would tell you is, if you want to own your own company, residential service is the easiest thing to do. And when I say easy to do, it's the easiest company to open. Because really, you need a way for people to get in touch with you, and you need a way to get there and carry your tools and materials. So it doesn't have to be commercial. I mean, you know, when I started my own company, I was working for a company doing $25, $30 million a year in business. That's not me. I've worked for commercial companies here that do $400 million a year in business. That's not me. Can you imagine being the guy trying to start and fund that company? But to start up a little residential service company like I did, that's now doing $1 million a year, man, that's an easy one to get going and do, because you just you got to know how to budget. You've got to know how to do accounts payable and receivable. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things to learn, and there's a lot of different groups out there that can help you learn that. There's a lot of different people to coach you. I'm coaching people across the United States right now on social media. Guys, I'm a plumber, but I've got people reaching out to me saying, hey, look, I want to learn social media. I like what you're doing, or I'm in a field similar to yours. I mean, plumbers or electricians, roofers, it doesn't matter. Man, we do residential service, and people are reaching out to me saying, hey, I want to learn to do the way you're doing it, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or whatever. So it's really been pretty cool. Akos, I tell you what, this is a great trade to get in, and you'll love it. I mean, if you're already doing sprinkler work, I actually, when I first got into plumbing, and I say first, I was already a plumber by then, but I went to work for a sprinkler fitting company along with a buddy of mine. And man, that's where I got really good at brazing. That's where I learned how to use a T-drill. I can't tell you how many hours I spent up on a scissor lift just doing drops all day. But it's a lot of fun, and thoroughly had fun. Paul Peck, thank you very much, man. We are having so much fun with our YouTube channel. We're working on new intros. We're working on new editing techniques. You know, some of y'all have seen Grayson in here every now and then. I've got a video editor there that's phenomenal. Will was doing a great job, but I've been able to free Will up to do other things. So we brought in Grayson, and man, I'm telling you what, our YouTube channel is definitely getting better. Let me see, we got about almost 30 people in here now, 25. It was up 30 while ago. Now, if each one of y'all went and told 4,000 of your closest friends, man, think how fast this channel would grow, especially if we did that every week. So anyway, Paul, thank you very much. We're having fun and we are thoroughly enjoying it. Jesse Kidd, do y'all use Uponor PEX with the Milwaukee expansion tool or some other PEX system? Or do you mostly use copper, press or sweat for service on water lines? Jesse, I'm an old school guy. I love copper. I love soldering it. But I love Uponor. That Uponor is cool. I do have the expander tools. I bought 2 of them. But I've also got the big rigid Pro Press. I love my tools. You know, I tell people all the time, if you want to be the best in your industry, start studying your industry. Come in early every day, and for 30 minutes to an hour, study your industry. And whether it's you're studying new materials, new tools, new techniques, whatever it is, if you come in every day for 6 months to a year and you study your industry like that, you are going to move up and be in the top, I'm going to say 2 to 5% of the people in your industry, because most people don't study. I know people that go to continuing education and walk out and they'll tell you, I didn't learn anything. Well, it's because they didn't listen, because there's new information being given out. And don't get me wrong, I'm not all gung-ho about CE. I get frustrated with this too sometimes. But I will tell you this, you learn new things. And man, you cannot beat a deal like that. So yes, I love the ProPress system. I love the Uponor system. About the only system I don't like is SharkBite. And I just think anytime you just stick 2 pieces of pipe together with the fitting in between, you're asking for problems. And it's not that I don't think that's a good system. I think there's a possibility of it. But guys, I'm a repair plumber. I can't tell you how many of those leaks we've gone back and fixed. That's why I look at it like I do. React time, how we doing from Illinois? What part of Illinois? Well, that's good if that's where you live. I kind of figured that. That's good. What part? Somebody else in here is out of Chicago, and I used to have a buddy that had a plumbing company just outside of Chicago, so that's great. I think we've already figured it out here later. So what's the industry standard for markups on fixture water heaters that customers can't get themselves? How do you handle customers who don't want to pay markups? You know what? And that's a really interesting question. Actually, it's a great question. I use a straightforward pricing guide. I use a flat rate book. My guys know the prices when they go in. And when we walk in and we look at a 50-gallon gas water heater, say it's $2,000. You know, we're not giving them a price for the heater and a price for the labor and all that. We do flat rate pricing. That way we don't have to charge them tax. It's all built in because we pay tax on it when we get it. So, you know, my thing is, man, we tell people pricing, but we sell the value and we explain the value to them. And, you know, I will tell you this, if you're not in any groups or associations that have, and they call it sales training, I call it customer service training. If you or your technicians are not learning how to talk to the customers, how to explain to the customers, and how to sell the value in what you're doing. Somebody got in here last week and talked about, you know, the lack of licensing in their areas, and everybody's able to do it. It's like, well, that's fine. If you're licensed, sell the value. Explain to them that there's a lot of people out there doing things not right. There's a lot of people out there doing things with cheaper materials, with unexperienced labor, and all that could lead to problems. And explain why there's a value in bringing you in. You know, one of our things is, look, we're licensed, drug tested, background checked, and everybody that I send into your house is going to be that way too. And that's really a big deal, but it's important to me, and that helps me sell the value of my company. What are your USPs, your unique selling properties? What is it that you bring to the table that maybe other people don't bring? And to me, that's a big deal. Rock the Red, Barney Film. We have the General 92. It's a great heavy duty machine. Absolutely. and heavy. Can't disagree with you. I like that third wheel on it though. It makes it easier to get in the van. Safe and simple drain cleaning, absolutely. Freeze breaks happen a lot there. Even back up in Jersey, I figured that it would. React time. I was born in Texas, but moved to Oklahoma and to Illinois. Man, where'd you move to in Oklahoma? I got a niece up at OU right now, and I was actually talking to somebody the other day from Okie City. Man, there's a burger place up there called Nick's that is fantastic. If you've never been there, it's worth going back to. Yeah, I'd miss Texas too. Larkin's Mechanical, we do 30% on most smaller items. Larger equipment, we use 10 to 15. And that's the way a lot of people are. They just pick a number. But guys, here's the deal, and here's what I want to tell you. And this is why I say, look, hey, got Neil in here, the Urban Explorer. Good to see you, brother. Here's the deal. Don't just set your pricing based on what somebody else is doing. And I say that because I know a lot of plumbers and a lot of plumbing companies losing money. And they're losing money every day, but it's because a lot of them don't have their pricing right. And it's funny because with the groups that I'm involved with, I get to communicate, network, and talk to some of the biggest plumbing companies in my area, in the nation. And I mean, when I say I get to talk to them, I can shoot an email or pick up the phone and say, hey, man, look, I got a problem. I need help. And these guys are there. But one of the things that I learned, one of the first companies that I walked in, and man, I walked in as a mentor, or for him to be a mentor, and said, hey, man, look, I got some questions. And we were talking. And he said, man, the first thing I'm going to tell you is you need to raise your pricing. And I think that's when I really started learning it's okay to raise your pricing if you sell the value in it. And what I mean by that is, look, when my guys put in water heaters, we don't have flex connectors. We don't use shark bite fittings. We do things right. We replace the ball valve. We put in a drip leg. If the pan needs replacing, we replace the pan. We want to do everything right. And to me, that's a really big deal. But it costs more to do it. And we explain why, but we also sell the value in it. And people understand that. It really is a big deal. Neil, great to see you in here, brother. That's another one. Y'all look around at the people that are here. There's some great channels to connect with and to subscribe to. I mean, it is really neat because of all the value and content that you get from all these different channels on here. But I tell you what, the Urban Explorer, Paul Peck Drywall Tube, there are some people in here that have some great YouTube channels and are definitely worth checking out, guys. I'm telling you. So it's all happening in 30 minutes. Okay, I guess, Nick, are you going live or something? Bruce, thank you, Robert. There we go. David, in Fort Lauderdale, fantastic. Where you were doing plumbing, we go by the IPC. Do you feel it would be a good investment to buy a UPC illustrated training manual or just stick with the IPC? If all you're ever going to work under is the IPC code, stick with it. I think the UPC and the IPC, there's so many things that are close, and I think they're getting closer, as we go more. Here's what I'll tell you is, if that's all you're going to be building by, and you've studied the IPC to where you've got it memorized or whatever, man, don't worry about anything else. That's your code book, and that's your gospel, that's your Bible, and use it, study it, learn it, and know it better than anybody else. And I remember getting in an argument with an inspector one day. He came out and tried to tell me how to do something. I said, well, that's not the right way to do it. And he looked at me. He said, do you know who you're talking to? I said, yes, sir. I said, somebody who's apparently got it wrong. Don't mean it bad, but I mean, it is what it is. There's your way, there's my way, and there's a code. And I had put it in by code. So I knew that I was right. So it turned out to be an argument, but it all worked. The IPC is a good book. Their study guide is good. I think the problem I had with the study guide that I had at the time, it was wanting you to look up the chapters and give reference numbers and all that. Man, I just wanted the answer because I was using it to study. But you know what? They're all good books. Like I said, the ICC's put together some great packages there. All right, so Neil's going live here in a little while from a castle, it looks like. Good deal. React time. There's a concrete slab under my house, and it's about a good 10 feet tall. 4 feet on water. Mess up my house. Any advice? There is a concrete slab under my house, and it's about a good 10 feet tall, and it's 4 feet on water in it. It will mess up my house. Any advice? Man, if it hadn't been water treated, yeah, it can. God, Paul Peck, I don't know if you got any basements in Florida. I know I don't think that I'd water treat from the inside. I think that would end up catching it like a balloon and swelling and possibly busting. Man, if you're really having problems, I hate to say it, maybe dig down to the base of it. I don't know if you can put in any kind of a drainage system or anything like that. I know we used to put them in around the base of the foundations, but you might be able to water treat it. And I don't know. We don't deal with basements here in Texas, so you probably came to the wrong guy on that one. But man, I hope you figure it out. And if you do, let me know. Okay, Elijah Gage, thinking about plumbing in Hawaii. Man, I'll go be your apprentice. Grandfather lives in Honolulu. What unions are there or plumbing schools there? Would Hawaii be a great place to be a plumber? Dude, I think Hawaii would be a great place to be a dog catcher. And nothing against dog catchers. I just think, man, if you're going to do anything, Hawaii is a great spot for it. I want to go over there and become a professional surfer or fisherman or scuba diver or anything at all. Yeah, there's a union over in Hawaii. I've actually checked into it at one point. I have a business interest over in Kona. And, I've talked to them before about, hey, look, matter of fact, I think I own a domain that if I wanted to go over and open a plumbing company, I could do that. I think I'd really found a cool one that I really did like over there. And I bought the domain. I used to be a domain dog. And I say used to, in case my wife is still listening. I used to buy, domains that I thought this could be great one day. I'd buy it. It's funny. Sean Cannell, if y'all don't know Sean Cannell, he's a great YouTuber. He wrote a book called YouTube Secrets. Helped me out a lot. But Sean Cannell interviewed me and he says, so if you could go back to your 20-year-old self, what would you tell it? And I told him, I said, I would tell it when this thing called the internet comes along, start buying up the domains like Chevrolet.com, Apple.com, Google.com, Ford.com, and buy any and every name and domain you can. And Sean's like, man, that's powerful. I like that. If y'all hadn't seen that, y'all need to go to Video Influencer's YouTube channel. Check out that video where he interviewed me. I talk about social media and YouTube and what it's helped me do. So it's really been pretty cool. So yeah, Elijah, I'd go be a plumber in Hawaii, any chance at all that I had. Larkins Mechanical, you got your number. Fantastic. Akos Dobson, Toronto, Canada. Man, I bet it's snowing up there because it looks like it's been kind of cold up north here lately. Craig Williams, question. Any tips on getting into the union through PHCC? I don't have any experience in plumbing right now, but I have 6 years sales experience at the age of 24. Number one, Craig, where are you located? You normally don't get into the union through PHCC, but I know that PHCC has I think it's a UAC, a Union Action Committee, something like that. So they do things together. I've got a video somewhere on my YouTube channel about getting into the union or how to get into the union. And there's a link in there that, and I don't know if Will's still in here or not, but if so, he can put a link in here. He's a moderator. Basically, you can go to Google and Google United Association locations and then go down and find out what union would be nearest to you. And they break them out by states and different things like that. So, it's probably going to be two different educations. And I've got water here, but I want tea. They brought me this while ago. Unsweet. I love it. I normally do unsweet iced tea with extra lemon in case anybody was wondering. PHCC's got a great training program. The union does. I think the union mainly trains for commercial new construction. I think PHCC does a little bit of cross training in all of it. And guys, I'll tell you what, I have nothing against either the union or PHCC. They've both got good training programs, and anybody that has a training program that will help, plumbers or apprentices learn more, man, to me, it's a great thing. And I'll tell you what, it's good because knowledge is where it's at. Knowledge is what's going to help you bring more value to the people that you work for. And once you bring more value, you're worth more money. And man, it's all about getting a paycheck at the end of the day. So, Regina, you were wondering if there was more than one program to enter, learn, and get a plumber's license. Absolutely. So you've heard me talk about a couple of them here. Regina, again, I don't remember where you were. Here we've got CEF, the Construction Education Foundation. We've got the United Association. We've got PHCC. We've even got smaller ones that are associated with different groups that train. Lindsay Cooper is where I got my HVAC certification. Went over there and went to school. So there's a lot of different training programs. Like I was telling somebody earlier, do the research. What are you going to get your best education at? What are you going to get your best training at? And how's that going to help you? And, I always ask companies that whenever I was going to work for them. It's like, look, what am I going to get out of this? What are you going to do to help make me a better plumber? Because I want to be a good plumber. And you'd be surprised. A lot of them never get asked that question. They just get guys that come in, they apply for a job, are like, okay, I'll take it. Well, I want to know what I'm going to get out of the deal, because it's not just about the money. It's about the knowledge, the training, the education that you can walk away with. And man, to me, that is just huge. Okay, so I like this. One more thing. When I go to the union, I should ask to go to work in residential, service, or commercial. I heard in commercial you learn more. And because you need to go look at the video that I've got. It's about, plumbing school is open, I think is what it is. And it's just a mini course. It's free. You go through it, but it asks you, do you want to do residential or commercial? And it explains what they are. Do you want to do service or new construction? And it explains what they are. And then it says, do you want to be union or non-union? And it explains the differences. And guys, here's why I made that video, because I'm one of the few plumbers in the United States that have done every bit of it. I've done residential. I've done commercial. I've done construction. I've done service. I've done industrial. I've been union. I've been non-union. I have done everything. The only thing I hadn't done is gone through the PHCC training, but I've talked to a lot of people that have, and that's why I'm like, look, there's a lot of good opportunities out there for people. So, take that little course and figure out what you want to do. And then when you go in and apply for a job, keep that in the back of your mind as you're asking the employer, what are you going to teach me? What am I going to learn from working here? Because it's going to be a good deal. Do I know any personal stories of people who were trained in America on plumbing and moved overseas and were successful in the trade? What's my thoughts on pay scale internationally for U.S. plumbers? And David, man, I can't tell you that because I don't know a lot of plumbers that leave here. I know a lot of plumbers that have came here from other places and they do well. I just don't know a lot of plumbers that have left here to go overseas. Now, I do know plumbers that are here in the United States that they may end up getting a job at like a water treatment plant, and they may go overseas for a little while and then come back, or they may go build a big hotel and they come back. I don't know of any that have left to go out of the country and stay there and work as a plumber. But man, if you hear any stories about it, I'm interested in it. I want to see what all they have to say. Rock the Red says, Regina, a lot of areas have career and tech centers. PHCC has a program also. A good plumbing company will often pay to send you to school. Absolutely. And man, if you can find a company to go to work for that will pay for your training, that's the kind of place you want to go to work at. That's one thing I like about the union. You go to school at night, but you're also working during the day, so you're getting paid during the day. You don't pay to go to school at night, but they don't pay you to go to school at night. So it's a great trade-off. You get educated, and I like that. David, do you find math important and efficient as well as not wasting material? Absolutely. Such as 45-degree offset and multiply with 1414. Absolutely. And there's, it's funny because, like I said, I came up open shop, and I didn't even know what the 141 was. And for me to get in and learn things like that, it was like I was like a sponge. And put it this way, when I first got into the union, remember, I came in as a journeyman plumber. I didn't even have my med gas. I came in as a journeyman plumber. And after my first couple of months in the union, I asked the labor manager for the company I was at, I said, look, I want to go to school and learn to be a pipe fitter, because I was on a bigger job and there were pipe fitters and welders. And I was like, oh my God, all these guys work together and do a lot of the same thing. I want to learn that. And Ronnie just laughed at me. He said, look, they're not going to let you go through school as an apprentice as a pipe fitter. You're a plumber. And man, I was really disappointed because I wanted to learn. I wanted to grow. And it probably would have helped me a lot, but I realized that by working with them out on the job, I could still learn. And then later, when I was a superintendent and I had pipe fitters, plumbers, welders, and HVAC techs working for me, I learned more because I learned how to do materials. I learned how to order their materials. I learned how to do the takeoffs. And yeah, math is really good. It can save you in a lot of ways, but knowing how to do takeoffs right, order materials right, and things like that, man, it can be very, very beneficial. But don't get me wrong, it's not complicated math. Now, it can get into it, but to be honest, man, just learning how to do it and look at things right, man, you're good. You will be good. Pricing, PHCC has a free software system sponsored by an A.O. Smith to help create your flat rate pricing guide. And Rock the Red, they do, and I've seen it. God, actually, I used to have a copy of it somewhere. It's a neat system. I like it because, I mean, you literally go in and put your technicians in, how much vacation time they get. Man, you put a lot of stuff in there, and it is very thorough, really, really good. Urban Explorer, I don't know if you're gone yet or not. Neil, thank you so much for dropping in, brother. I appreciate it. Skylar Garcia, heat and frost, 81. There you go. So you move to Fort Gibson. Okay. All right. Urban Explorer, first one in the van. Roger, pray for working Wi-Fi. Man, isn't that hilarious? Well, Urban Explorer, man, good luck on your live, brother. I hope everything is wonderful over there. Anybody, when they get out of here, go over and check out the Urban Explorer. Man, such a great guy. React time, Urban, Larkins Mechanical. That's a good point. We were working with a real estate investor who did a chargeback on our credit card to avoid the markup. We lost $4,500. Man, I hate that. Number one, I can tell y'all, flippers, call them fast homes. People that just flip homes real quick. They take a dump and they turn it into a fast home. They just come in, flip it, boom, done. I have been jacked over by them. Man, most flippers don't want to do things right. Most flippers just want to do things cheap. And it's really sad because Most people, if they buy houses that's a flip, I tell them, look, chances are it's not a good thing. And I hate to say that because there are a few out there that try to do things right. But if they're just trying to do it fast, people that make these fast homes, man, all they do is make a headache for you. You see anything that looks like a fast homes, stay away from it because they're thieves, crooks, dishonest, not good people. Okay, there's my rant. I'll get off of it. Just kid. Your company's got to be one of the best in Texas because of the pride and dedication you put into doing it right and not installing bad materials. Very motivating. I'm glad we got your channel. Man, I'm glad you got it too. And number one, guys, if you like what I'm doing, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up. Share the video. Like the video. Tell people about the video. I had almost 30 people in here a while ago, and I said, hey, look, if everybody right now tells 4,000 of their closest friends, do you know how fast this channel would grow? So guys, if you like what we're doing, and it's not just me, it's the other channels. You got Paul and the Urban Explorer in here. If you go in here and you see videos that you like, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, let them know what you think, let them know what you like. I love hearing what people like about the videos that I'm doing. So I really do appreciate all that. Jesse, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. You have no idea how much. Kevin, Great Fitness. How are you? Good to have you in here. Love the Lord Jesus. You're on your lunch break watching 3-Week Apprentice and loving it. Fantastic. Kevin, where are you located? I asked everybody earlier. Paul, you got about 65 domain names. I think I'm still over 100. That's pretty funny, man. We do have a lot in common. 3-week apprenticeship. Kevin, let me know how it's going. What do you like about it? What's your favorite thing about it? What are you learning? Because to me, man, it's all about the knowledge. Yeah, the link Paul put in there is great. The www.ua.org. There's you go to that homepage there, and there's a spot, I think it says locations. Click on it, go down, look at the state you're in, and you'll be great. How to give estimates, Los Angeles in the house, local 761, fantastic. Jose Arteaga, good to have you in here, sir. Man, I was out in LA recently. Matter of fact, that's where I met Paul Peck and Neil from the Urban Explorer, both of them in here. We were all three out in Los Angeles in October. Thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I love it out there. Rock the Red, got to go for Dave. Family are over. Thank you so much. Man, I'm glad you stopped in. I do appreciate it, and you're more than welcome. Negativin. Would you recommend someone get into a trade career even if they never were tool savvy or really any experience with these types of blue collar jobs? You don't have to have experience at these type of jobs. And because I promise you, I had zero experience at all plumbing when I got into it. I may have used a toilet or turned on a lavatory, but I really had no serious experience. But here's what I'll tell you is, if it's something you think you can do, if you're semi-mechanically inclined, if you like working with tools, if you like working with your hands, man, the trades are great to get into. And it's funny because I had this conversation earlier. I went and picked up a camera, a sewer camera that I was having repaired. And, I was talking to the guy that runs the shop, and I told him, look, I'm short plumbers. And he just started laughing. He says, look, I hear it from everybody in here. If you've got a good business mind, and all I mean by that, because look, I'm the dumbest business guy you ever met. But if you've got a good business mind and you're like, look, I would like to start a business one day, and you're focused and you're dedicated and you're sincere and you're going to do the right thing, this is a great thing to get into. And when I say this, I don't just mean plumbing, but any of the trades. If you literally, and Paul can probably tell you too more about it from the sheetrock and painting point of view, but I mean, we need people in the trades, y'all. And Regina, if you're still in here, it's a nationwide thing. It's not just here in Texas. It's not just here in Dallas. We need people into the trades. And we need a lot of people into the trades. Mike Rose got a video, and I don't remember how many of y'all saw Juliet Miranda come in last week. Another great YouTube channel. She sent me a connection with Mike Rowe. And, I've said all along, look, I'd like to interview Mike Rowe or talk to him. I used to reach out to his people and say, hey, look, I'd really like to talk to Mike because I'm trying to recruit for the unions or the trades, not the unions, but I'm trying to recruit for plumbing, electrical, HVAC, the elevator union. There's so many great places to work. And his people are like, man, look, he is swamped. Well, I get it, but man, we're trying to do something good here. Let's work together. Let's do something together. So she sent me a connection to him, but he made a comment the other day. He says, look, we've got $1 trillion worth of college debt, and we still get people knocking down the doors to go to college. And there's 1 million open trades jobs. And it's, or let's not say trades jobs, let's say jobs that don't require a college degree, jobs that you can walk out of high school and do. And what I love about the trades is you've got an additional education. You can go to trade school, you can go to a community college and learn some trades. There's a lot of different things you can do. But if you want a great future and you want to make good money in the future, man, the trades are phenomenal. And it's getting better every day. Because I think as fast as the country's growing and we keep pushing kids into college and not the trade schools, guys, there's going to be a supply and demand problem. And I think I said it here last week. Pretty soon, I see plumbers making $100 an hour on a check. And you think that's not good money? I don't know a whole lot of college graduates that make that kind of money. Now, don't get me wrong, I know some, but guys, it's not a big number. And if you've got an opportunity to do that without going to college, you're not going to have that college debt, and your ROI, your payback is going to be amazing. All right. Muskogee, fantastic. LA, he's gone. Going to school, abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, I do. I try to answer every question. I'll get back to that in a minute. I'll roll right back up. ACOS, cool of you to take time in answering every question, patient and caring. Man, I'm not going to say patient because there'll be a lot of people tell you, no, I'm not. Man, I'm hard to work for because I want things right, and I always want it right. And, one of the things, and man, I've recorded like 6 videos here lately, so it's been crazy. But man, one of the things that I say in the videos to apprentices is, look, when you got a plumber willing to teach you, be willing to listen and learn. And listen to him and don't make him teach you the same thing again. If I'm going to show you how to measure and cut or how to figure the 1.414 formula, if I'm going to take my time to teach you, take time to learn, take time to document it, to write it down, to memorize it, whatever it is you have to do. Don't take the person that's mentoring you and ask them the same question day after day after day. So patience is not one of my greatest virtues, but I do try, and I do care. Man, I care with all my heart. Negativin, appreciate any advice because I was looking into getting into the trades, but I'm not too savvy or know anything about it. Man, I'll tell you what, I've got the mini course, go take it. I've got a ton of videos. Oh, I hear sirens. They may be coming to get me if I get hauled out. You guys don't worry, I'll try to hit end stream real quick. Sorry about that, squirrel. Here's the deal. You could probably watch all my videos and walk in and talk to someone intelligently about plumbing. When they say, do you have any experience? And you can say, well, here's what all I know how to do. Does that really mean you have experience? No, but at least if you can tell them, look, I understand this. I've never done it myself. Or you know what? Learn how to do it at your house. Watch my video. Rebuild your toilet. Watch my video. Go outside and find your clean house. Go rent a sewer machine. There's a million things you can do to learn and get familiar with things to get that experience. And, it's crazy, but I hear people all the time say, look, I went and applied at several companies. They would not hire anybody without experience. You know what? I'll hire people without experience. It gives me an opportunity to teach them the right way to do it. And if you walk in and apply for a job and they say, well, you don't have any experience, say, good, I don't have any bad habits. When can I start? And you'd be surprised how many people will love that attitude and that reaction. So anyway, man, look, if you want to get into this trade, this is amazing. So Jean-Pierre, looking into getting into plumbing, what route should I take? Of course, I'm pretty much a rookie. Man, I hope you were listening to what I just said. Guys, I've got the course, the free mini course. Go find out what kind of plumber you want to be. Start there. Man, there's so many options, and there's so many job openings nationwide that, man, it's a great time to get into plumbing. If you get into plumbing right now, think about it. You're going to get your license or turnout in 4 or 5 years. And I say turnout because that's what they call graduation if you're in the union. But 5 years from now, man, I'm telling you, plumbers are going to be making bank, because especially if you're a good one. If you do the things I'm telling you in these videos, and guys, I think I've got a playlist, how to become a plumber and getting into plumbing, something like that. And my thing is, if you do those things in that video, study, work hard, be on time, respect your mentors, learn. Guys, you'll be making bank. Matter of fact, I want you to send me about 5% a year for the first 5 years after you get your license, because I'll be able to retire then. John Holmes got a funny poop story as a plumber. You know what? If you can tell it in here and it's not vulgar, and Paul Peck or Will or somebody doesn't kick you out, guys, these are my moderators. Thank you so much for them. They do a really good job in here, keeping an eye on things and putting in links and all the fun stuff. And Paul Peck, see, Paul shared this on Twitter, and that's cool too, because if y'all do that, if you'll go down there on the bottom and hit the share button, share it, put yourself in there. If you tag me either at Roger Wakefield or at the Expert Plumber, or I think it's at _ the Expert Plumber, man, tag me. I will comment back and tell you thank you, retweet it, retag it, whatever it is I can do. But guys, look, I'm just like everybody else. I'm trying to do something cool here. The more people that know about it, the more people that hear about it, the more people that like it, the more people that share it. It makes it better for all of us, because I'm really trying to do a cool thing. And I do appreciate all y'all's help. Paul Peck, thank you very much, brother. John, it involves a mobile home. You know what? I've crawled under some mobile homes, so I completely get it. Lessons learned. Elijah Gage, do you know anyone that is in the military that is a plumber? And if so, what were their experiences and their stories? Elijah, I used to have a Marine that worked for me. When he was in the military, he helped build, I'm going to call them mobile bases, did plumbing, construction, did all kinds of different things. But it's really cool because when he got over here and he turned in all his documentation to the state, they actually gave him credit. I think he was in the military for 4 years doing that. And I think they give him about 2 years credit, because a lot of what he did was plumbing. And man, he went down, took his journeyman test, passed it. It was a great thing because he had put in 2 years as an apprentice, was getting ready for the tradesman, but then went ahead and decided to submit his paperwork and see what kind of credit he got. And they let him take his journeyman exam. So it was fantastic. Let me see. David Dillow, what's my thoughts on Roto-Rooter? You know what, David? I've never worked for them. I've heard good things and bad. I've heard good things in the fact that they have a good training system. I've heard bad things in the fact that some of the companies send apprentices out to do journeyman work. It can get a journeyman in trouble and the company in trouble, and I don't like that. I've never worked for them, so I can't tell you good, bad, or ugly. I will tell you this. I don't know what they're doing on YouTube, but their YouTube channel gets a ton of views. And I think it's because they send out videos to all their customers all the time, which is cool. I wish mine got more views, but I just don't send them out to all my customers every day. So not sure there. Mike Ritter, have you made any videos on air admittance valve or my thoughts on them? You know what, Mike? I haven't. I've used air admittance valves in jobs where I didn't have a choice, meaning I did a reroute and they wanted an island sink. The city it was in, they allowed it. Talked to the inspector, found out how he wanted it. I know when they first came out, we all hated them. I did have one burping on me over here in Richardson, and it was actually burping water out of it, and it's because the drain was stopped up. Man, swap that one out, cleaned out the drain, it was fine. So I don't know if you've had any problems with them, let me know. I've never really had a problem. Here we go. Rizzo, 619. Financial aid here in LA will pay for your plumbing career upstart. That is fantastic. I tell you what, guys, the union training program is set up to where you get paid while you go to school. I like that. I think that's a great deal. It beats the heck out of college. So Regina, I see you've got all this great information. Have you signed up yet? Are you a plumber yet? You got a job yet? We're ready to get you into the trades. David Dillow started a little over 2 to 3 years ago in plumbing and never worked with tools a day in my life. Humility, hard work, and growing every day in my craft and work, reading and studying. Man, good for you, David. I love to hear that, because I tell people all the time, look, you don't have to have experience to get into the trade. None of us did. And these companies that say they don't hire anybody without experience, I don't like that, because I like hiring somebody without experience and bring them in and let me have the opportunity to mold them and make them the kind of plumber I want to be, or the kind of plumber that I want. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of plumbing companies out there that teach people bad habits. And that's not what I want. I want that apprentice that really wants to learn to do it right, because I want them to come in and say, look, I want to be the very best plumber, because that's the kind of plumber I want. And if I can help teach them that and introduce them to that system and make them better at what they do, man, my life just got so much better. So I think that is fantastic. Let me see. Bruce again. Bruce Mayrand. Hey, Roger, what are my tips on interviewing for plumbing or HVAC company? If you're already a plumber or an HVAC tech, or if you're an apprentice, it's going to be a little bit different. If you're a plumber or HVAC tech, come in and explain what you can do for the company. And I had a tradesman come in and apply one time, and he brought me in like 8 or 10 sheets stapled together. And these are all reviews that he's got on Yelp and Google and this, and had his name listed. And that was good. Man, he impressed me. I was like, man, this guy cares about his work, cares about the company he works for, helps them get reviews. But then he came in to work for me, and I found out he was full of it. You can say anything you want in an interview. The thing I like to hear most is what people are like, look, this is what I bring to the company. A strong work ethic. I'm going to be on time. I'm not going to get drunk or high and text you or call you in the middle of the night. I am going to be early. I'm going to take good care of your customers. Man, just you never know, because you never know what kind of plumber you're really going to get until you get them. As an apprentice, I want an apprentice that wants to learn. So I want to get an apprentice in that literally is excited about getting a job, but also excited about the opportunity to learn and to grow. And that's kind of cheesy, I guess, but that's exactly what I feel about it. Colin D, cut my finger last Friday cleaning drains and it got infected. Man, and let me ask you this. Do you wear rubber gloves? Because I know we wear lime green latex gloves. You know, the color of my pipe wrench up here, I've got booties that color. We got gloves that color. And to me, it's all about branding. You know, I mean, I don't know if y'all can see that good looking face right there, but man, if you ever see anybody that looks like that, there's a good looking puppy dog right there. Man, it's all about branding. So my question is, did you have on rubber gloves, or did whatever you were doing cut right through them? Because I've seen that too. But man, you know, when you get injured on the job, you know, pour alcohol on it, pour peroxide on it, do something. Because guys, man, we deal with disease, whether we realize it or not. And that's why a licensed plumber is so valuable, because of the cross connections that can happen, the things that can happen to cause problems. And, you know, I love that, you know, man, a lot of these videos I put out, I talk about the safety side of it. And guys, safety is one of the most important things we all have to deal with. And it's really funny that I talk about that, because when I first started plumbing, you know, you didn't have to wear a hard hat. Now they gave it to you, but you didn't have to wear it. You didn't have to wear the safety glasses. You didn't have to wear the gloves. You didn't have to wear fall protection. But it was all here. It's in a pile over here if you want it. They give you safety glasses and say, hey, you know, those got to last you throughout the job. Well, the job will finish in about 6 months. So nobody would wear them. They kept them in a bag. That way, if they ever needed them, they had them. You know, goggles. God, I remember when I started, we had those big bulky goggles. I mean, about this big, and they were crazy. And now I buy my guys the Monoshield, which is a goggle and face shield and everything all in one. And I love it. You know, safety is what it's all about. So if you do cut yourself, if you think you're into something not good, you know, one thing I tell people all the time is, look, when you open up that valve box out in the front yard, look down in there before you stick your hand in there. Because I know certain areas of Dallas, you can pull up and there's always cars parked outside, and you pull up and they drive off. Well, a lot of these guys take these needles and syringes they're shooting up with, and they'll just reach over and stick them in the keyhole cover on the meter box. So, you know, be careful. I've seen that. I've seen snakes. Be very careful in everything you do. So Colin D, brother, take care of that finger. It really can get infected. That's bad. Hope they got you on antibiotics or something. Negatoven, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Andy Goffrey. Hey, Roger, been plumbing for 2 weeks now as a helper and absolutely love it. Haven't been this happy on a Sunday night, Monday morning in years. So where are you located? If y'all didn't tell me earlier, tell me where y'all are located. Because like you said, Sunday night, Monday morning, you're definitely not in Dallas, Texas, because we're already almost a Monday evening. So you're a little bit behind us. But I tell you what, I love that. I love that you said you've been plumbing for 2 weeks now. You didn't say you already know everything, because I know some apprentices that in 2 weeks know more than me. I love the fact that you love it. Man, this is a great trade we're in, guys. And those of y'all that are plumbers, man, I hope y'all realize that, because this is something I am still so prideful about, the fact that I'm a plumber. And it's funny because when I go speak at marketing events, and those of y'all that don't know, I mean, I'm actually doing pretty well on social media, but I've got to speak at VidCon. I've got to speak at Video Marketing World. I've got a couple of other people talking to me about speaking at events too. And I love this idea and this opportunity. But the really cool thing is, I always start off and it's like, okay, guys, first thing I want y'all to know is I'm a plumber. And I mean that, because that's what I do. I was actually out running calls earlier today. I was out doing a leak detection earlier today. Went out Saturday, helped work on a gas line. Went out the other day and rebuilt a toilet. Guys, I am a plumber. So when I get to go out and speak about social media, I'm proud of that now. And I think I always have been, but maybe even more so lately, because I realize how good it is and how prideful our trade is. we really do protect the health of the nation. And I take big pride in that, especially because we've got problems with the license here in Texas. The government is wanting to move our license over under a different agency because it's a way for them to make more money. And I don't believe in that. I believe in doing what's right for the people of Texas. So I've been fighting about that. I've been going down to the state capitol. I've been on the news a lot. I'm on social media a lot talking about it. So anyway, man, here's the deal. I love our trade. I think it's amazing. And I love Andy Geffrey when I see people get excited about it, because I do. I love it every day. Elijah Gage, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in here and saying hello and hanging out. Rizzo 619, still in class, one more semester to go, doing apprentice work for a company. Good for you. So tell me this, guys. What do you get most out of these videos? Whether it's my live, do you like the live? Do you like the fact that we do that and we get to get in here and talk? Because I really enjoy that. Or do you like the videos that we do more? The live, we just always throw in. It's a Monday evening. It's a chance to get in here and chat. I love it because it gives me real-time feedback back and forth with y'all. But I mean, look at this. We got almost 30 people in here now. We've been going almost an hour and a half. I really enjoy this because it lets me communicate. When Regina can ask a question and I can say, hey, here's what I think. When we can communicate back and forth, and don't get me wrong, guys, I try to answer all my YouTube comments, but you can ask Paul Peck. It ain't easy. For the last 2 Sundays, I have literally come in the office. Sunday 2 weeks ago, the one before Thanksgiving, I was in here from like 8 in the morning to about 5 or 6 at night. This last Sunday, I came in at about 11 and left at 3 or 4. But guys, look, I try. There's no way I can ever answer every single one of them. And I did for the longest. But now we're getting up where there's more and more and more, and it's harder to do. So that's why I say, look, if y'all like what we're doing, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. That way, it's like, hey, you know what? Let's just keep on doing this because it's working. Or I can say, hey, what the heck? Brian Ferrick, I appreciate your scoop on the poop. Man, I am all over it. I love getting on here, letting y'all talk poop with a plumber. Rob Muss, what age would you say is too old to get into the trade? Rob, for me, that's got to be a question that you answer, because I'm 56, but I look 25. But I know 25-year-olds that look 65. So, my thing is, it's really up to you. Told the story earlier, I hired 2 60-year-old plumbers lately. One of them, fantastic, all over it, no big deal. The other one, he couldn't do it. He lasted a day. He was a master plumber. Actually, they're both master plumbers. He had taken off for a year, came back in. He said, man, this work's too hard. He said, it's killing my knees. It's killing my back. I can't do it. And I mean, I feel sorry for him because he wanted to, and he still got the knowledge up here, but his body can't handle it. So Rob, it is literally, it's up to you to figure out, hey, this is what I think I can do, or I don't think I can do this. Elijah loves the live. Good deal. Paul likes both. I love that. Ty Kessler, love the videos because I can watch it all the time and it's there and not gone. And you know what, Ty? I leave my lives in there so you can always go back to them. I need to go in and SEO them. I probably need to make a better title. Probably need to put a thumbnail on them, although I think we've got a thumbnail that goes with it. But I'm going to need to put descriptions and things like that. And I really don't do that on the lives because I'm not really trying to get all the views later. Man, I do the lives for this right here. Being able to talk to you and you talk to me. And man, if you got a question, boom, we take care of it right then. Anyway, I like that. So thank you so much. Isaiah, company I work for doesn't have any of those things. They are working on getting insurance, not union, obviously. You know what? It's Isaiah, here's the deal. And I remember, and I don't know how old you are, but I'm 56 now. So, insurance is important. A pension plan or a retirement plan is important. I remember, God, I got out of plumbing for just a little bit and got right back into it. And this was 94. And I remember going in there talking about 401k, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not even worried about all that. They're talking about insurance. I'm not even worried about all that. It shows how smart I was. We should always worry about that because those are the things that are most important. So, what I will tell you this is next time you go on a job interview, think about what things are important to you and look for those. And you know what, man, hopefully you find them. I think those are all big deals and really, really good for us. Jess Kidd, long live the live, but both fantastic. Rob, like the vids overall, very informative, getting advice from a pro. Thank you very much. Rizzo619, I get inspiration and knowledge from your videos. I'm not at the top yet, but I'm definitely on my way. Man, I love that. I love that. And here's the deal. Guys, and here's how I look at this. I get to teach y'all a way, or I get to show y'all something. And this is me getting to give back to my community, to give back to my trade, to my industry. Plumbing has been great for me, and I love it. And when I say I love it, man, I still love plumbing. I love getting to work with apprentices. I love getting to work with plumbers. I've got 60-year-old plumbers walking that I get to teach new things to. And maybe it's because the position that they were in, the companies they work for, like you said, that they don't have insurance or they don't have those things. I've got a 60-year-old plumber the other day that I showed how to use ProPress, that we showed how to use MegaPress, and he had never done it. And he's like, wow, this is really cool. Now, don't get me wrong, I am probably one of the only residential service plumbing companies around that have that. But to me, it's important. It helps me help my customers better and helps them save money. So I love that I study my trade every day. Still at this age, I do. So Rizzo619, man, I love that. Thank you very much. And I'll tell you what, I know we got some union people in here. I actually had an apprentice call up here one day and didn't talk to me, talked to Amber, my CCR, and told her, says, hey, Roger, or told her, says, Amber, I want you to let Roger know we watch his videos every night in our class. And I thought that was so cool that, one of the union training centers, the instructor was pulling up my videos and letting the guys watch them. And I thought that was really neat because I love teaching. And, I don't teach at the union anymore. So this is a great way for me to get in here and teach, because whether it's here giving you advice or to introduce you to companies that can help you grow, because the companies that I deal with are nationwide. And they've helped me grow a lot. They've helped me learn budgeting. They've helped me learn training. They've helped me learn a lot of different things. And I love that fact and that opportunity. But to get to share it, to get to teach people the things that I've learned and to help them grow, that makes me feel wonderful. And Paul Peck's the same way. The information that we share, man, it helps people. And to me, that's what it's all about. Barney Films, I'm with you, man. I love the interaction. I love visiting. I love the communicating. We're actually fixing to upgrade to a better computer, and we're going to be able to change some things where we can do things different. But also part of it is we'll be able to have guests in. And we're really excited about stuff like that. Paul Peck, hopefully you'll be up for that one day. Jason Gicker, 3 months into being a plumber, just started reading the 2018 IPC. Any tips to conquering this book and understanding it better? Yeah, I'll tell you what, I was just talking about my UPC book a while ago. what I do is I go through now in the UPC, I just go back to the answer page. I think the IPC's got it too, and go through and mark the correct answer. Matter of fact, the old IPC did. I don't know if the new one does. Any of y'all know anybody at the IPC? Tell them to send me a book. I want to do a review on it. But my thing is, go through and mark the right answer, and then go through and read it. Nothing but the question and the right answer. So you're going to read the question, look at the highlighted answer. Read the question, look at the highlighted answer. After you've done that 4 or 5 times, then go through and cover them up. And I've got a video that teaches this, so if you forget it, don't worry about it. Go through and cover the answers up. Read the question. If you do not know the answer 100%, I mean, if you've got a guess, if you've got to say, you know what, I think it's this, don't do anything. Mark it red. That means you need to come back. If you have to guess, or if you're not 100% sure, mark it. And when I say mark it, I go through and I mark all my answers in green or yellow or pink or something. Not pink, green or yellow or purple. Then when I come back through the ones I don't know, I highlight the question number in pink. So now for the next couple of weeks, I can literally go through and just read the pink ones, because those are the ones that I did not know. And then I get them down. I get them to where I can read to them and I know them. Well, then I go through again and answer every question in the book. Cover the answer, read the question. I better know the answer. Once I go through that entire book like that, then I'm good, because now I've got it down. And that's how I use the UPC and the IPC to study by. So, Jason, I hope that helped. Elijah says, thanks, Isaiah. Answering Elijah, there you go, no problem. The COO. Isaiah, thank you, Mr. Wakefield. You're more than welcome. Any gift-free video request idea tips for proper care, cleaning, disinfecting of tools used for dirty jobs? And just throw them away, buy you some more. I'm joking. Yeah, keeping your tools clean is huge. Company I work for just got bought out by a corporation called ARS. Apparently they own 75 companies around the nation, but somehow our insurance got more expensive. Sorry about that, guys. Need to get something wet down there. ARS is huge. They do buy out a lot of companies. I know of a guy. Let me see. Who are we talking to? Okay, Coleman D, where you at? I know a guy. He's got companies in Vegas, Phoenix, LA, and somewhere else out there. And I think he told me at one point he had sold 15 different companies to ARS. So yeah, a lot of people just grow companies, raise them, build them, make them big and strong, sell them, wait a few years and do it again. It's another great business to get in. Paul Peck, that's a good one. Andy, which one? I'll have to look back up here in a minute. Oh, yes, the tools. You're right. That is a good one. Have you ever heard of IPC? It is better than taking the exam in the town. Ty Kessler, have you heard of IPC? Is it better than taking the exam in town? Ty, the IPC is a study guide. They've got a demonstration book, a detailed book, all kinds of different things. But they've got a study guide just like the UPC does. The International Plumbing Code and the Uniform Plumbing Code. And they're both fantastic. There's little differences in each of them. I know like in Texas, different cities and municipalities go by a different code. Our plumbing exam, you should be able to read either book and pass it. So that means whatever is pretty much the same in both of them. That's what the test is based on. I think that's a great deal. So, and they're both good books. Regina, hey Roger, will a plumbing license work only regionally or will it apply anywhere in America? Regina, it's not even regionally, it is statewide. It used to be citywide or certain municipalities or counties or something like that. Now it's just statewide, meaning my Texas license is good anywhere in Texas. Now I can also reach out to other states because some states do reciprocate, meaning if the Texas exam is equivalent to or more stringent than theirs, they may let me do plumbing in their state and just be able to apply and get a license real quick. So definitely think about where you want to be a plumber when you're done, Regina, and check and see. Andy, thanks. Also love tips on keeping myself clean too. Sometimes not possible, but any little tricks would help. It's called a Tyvek suit. You look like a big mushroom, but we actually use those when we're climbing under houses and stuff like that. ARS is huge all over Southern Cal. Absolutely, Isaiah. Just came to 619. They want graduates. Absolutely. Ty, you are more than welcome. All right, well, guys, we've gone a little bit over today. It is an hour and 35 minutes into it, and I normally try to go about an hour and a half. I want to say thanks to Paul Peck, Drywall Tube. Thanks to Will Rosebrock. Thanks to Neil, the Urban Explorer. If y'all haven't gone over and checked out the Urban Explorer yet, please do. If you hadn't subscribed to my channel, do me a favor, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and man, leave me a comment. Let me know what is it you like best, or like we've had tonight, what videos you think I could make that would help you. I love the fact that we've got non-union in here, we've got union in here, we've got service, we've got construction, we've got a little bit of every bit of it. I love that. So thank you all. Elijah, thank you, man. I appreciate you being in here. You have a good one too. Paul Peck, man, it's always an honor and a privilege to have you. You got my number. Give me a call so we can talk and we can see what we can do together. So, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, if you hadn't done it yet, please subscribe, ring the bell, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. That tells the YouTube gods that we're doing something right, and hopefully they show favor. And Rizzo, man, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great one. I'm fixing to get out of here and go home and have dinner. Y'all be good, and I will see you all in the next one. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you on the next video if you don't get flushed. Bam.